Hi guys and welcome to this new tutorial of dreams. Today I will show you to create this. Boom 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 boom. Yes, save my money for sound effects. Unlike my previous tutorial, we will work directly on dreams, leaving Procreate aside for a moment. We will see how to create special effects by drawing on dreams. But now let's go straight to see how to make it. Let's open a new empty project. First thing we need is the shape of our explosion. To make the shape of our explosion, let's take a draw tool, organic and a rainforest brush. Okay. And for the color we choose an orange, like this. Now I'm going to darken the background slightly, otherwise you won't see anything. With gray, okay. Now let's go draw. I'm going to make the brush a little smaller. And let's create an irregular shape starting from the center. As we go outside, we fade. Like this. You don't have to be too precise. Now let's take a yellow color and add it to the center.
¿Me quieres? No me quieres. Y claro.
Same thing with white.
¿Me quieres? No me quieres. Ya, claro. Y me dejas.
I'm going to fill the track with the frame I drew.
Hasta que empezó a fallar.
Now I press play.
Pero este mono
Ha!
más.
Nothing happens. But now dreams will come to my help. I'll show you how to animate everything. I'm going to check the frames. If they are 120 per second, and they are, great. I use frame at 120 per second because they give a great sense of fluidity to the action. But let's see how to animate the explosion. First of all, let's check that the anchor point is in the center. With the Move tool, I go to choose a point on the timeline, for the moment at 2 seconds. I did this because at the starting point I will have to make my explosion smaller, and then it will expand quickly, and then slowly disappears. And then, do you understand? From the starting point where it will be smallest, I put another keyframe at 3/10 of a second, where there will be the maximum opening of the explosion. I'm going to zoom in on my layer here. Okay. And now I'm going to zoom out to the starting point. Let's try to get the animation going. Okay, the animation is already quite good. It opens quickly and then closes more slowly. Another thing that I can see now is the opacity of our explosion. Clearly, at this point, you shouldn't see anything. When it explodes, it will have to appear, and then slowly go off. I had another keyframe with the opacity filter, will be 0 at 0 seconds and 100 at the point of maximum expansion of the explosion, and back to 0 at the end. Now play. Now I'm going to add another filter for the tone. When the explosion appears, it will have a dazzling color, and then the blade becomes grayer until it goes out. Let's add the filter in the timeline corresponding to the keyframe already placed. In the final point, I'm going to set the saturation to 0, okay, and the light at 15. I change the blending mode to head. And as the last filter I had, the new lens blur filter. It will serve to blur the initial flash and blur the smoke of the explosion. Also in this case I put the keyframe corresponding to those above. I momentarily change the opacity at the end to see the result. I set the lens blur at the end, contrast 100%, light 100% and radius 30%. I finally set the opacity back to 0. Now I'm going to change the background color to give everything a little life. E play! Boom! Evviva la vida loca! Okay, I'm going to add a little blur here too. As you can see, using this filter on this drawing has an almost distortion effect, which makes it very realistic blades. I'm going to set contrast 100, light 100 and radius 10. Now play and boom! The tutorial for making excellent booms is not included. Okay, now I'm going to modify the light at this point, which will be part of the initial flash of the explosion. Set 70 to have a greater light. Boom! I think it's too much. I'm going to decrease it to 60 because then we are going to add more glows. Now, as I was saying, the next step is to add more flashes and sparkles to make our explosion more beautiful. In my case, I'm going to take a file that I have already prepared, because here it's a frame-by-frame animation. If you need to understand how I did it, I will make another tutorial. Let me know in the comments. But if you need the file, no problem, I can share it. Here my sparkles are made up of two tracks, one for the sparkle and one for the flash. I'm going to rotate a little. Also in this case the flash appears quickly and then goes out more slowly. While, as I was saying, sparks are made up of multiple frames. Now play. Zwish, 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 zwish. I was very good on the stop. Now what interests me is to change the shade of my sparkles a little. I want them yellower and shinier. I'm also going to decrease the opacity of the flashes a little, because otherwise they will cover the explosion too much. Okay, I'm going to arrange the sparks at the beginning of the timeline and create a new group with the explosion. I'm going to zoom everything out to make it look better in the screen. Okay. I enter the group and move the sparks to the maximum opening point of the explosion, because that is where they will have to appear. I'm going to enlarge them and arrange them on the sides of the explosion. I create a new track and duplicate the sparks group. and move to the other side. I make one more track and duplicate one last time. I rotate and put here. Okay, maybe we're there. I'll zoom out a little more. Okay, now play. Boom, 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 boom. It's so hard. Boom. Now let's look at a little more closely and more slowly. One thing I'm noticing is that I want the gray of the smoke to arrive a little earlier, otherwise it can be seen. I'm going to move the saturation keyframe closer to the start, like this. Okay, we try now. Much better. Lastly, I'm going to add a rotation to the explosion level. Okay, I think this is the right rotation. I'm going to duplicate some explosions and see if I can make the screen explode. And here is the final result. Boom, 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 boom. The explosions I'm using here I need for another project I'm working on. If something is not clear, I invite you to write in the comments. And boom! Boom, 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 boom.